sunset might as well have been an afternoon screening of the movie Cats, because no one bothered to so much as offer it a cursory glance. Instead, everyone's eyes were locked on an art installation recently erected in the grass, where it would remain towering over visitors for a week. The thing was massive, the size of Paul Bunyan if Bunyan were A real person, and B, slightly better dressed. More than one onlooker's sexuality was called into question, as were a few relationship choices. It's frankly incredible the joggers didn't run into each other. How many glasses of wine overflowed as an idle hand kept pouring while its connected pair of distracted eyes was locked on the chiseled map that made up the statue's abs? Some young folks only slightly recognized the figure, but anyone who came of age in the 1990s knew immediately what delicious flesh they beheld. That of Dr. Ian Malcolm, i.e. Jeff Goldblum's sexy, dino-doubting mathematician from Jurassic Park. Here, as in the movie, his shirt hung open as he reclined on one cocked arm like a swimsuit model from the 1960s, staring out into the great unknown, even though his leg had just been mauled by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So, naturally, everyone did what everyone does in the face of spectacle these days. They whipped out their phones and took awkwardly framed photos of that statue while thinking of clever quips to write on Instagram and trying to find the proper hashtag. There was a certain irony to the statue. After all, in Jurassic Park, his character famously decries the idea of bringing back dinosaurs, believing that something could go terribly wrong. And here he lay, 2 decades later, looking perfectly preserved, the size of a dino himself. This monstrously large Jeff Goldblum is how I like to imagine the man himself in his true form. Helen McClory, who wrote a slim volume of flash fiction about our man called The Goldblum Variations, told CNN at the time, or how he would have appeared in the age of megafauna. Life doesn't have nearly enough large statues of men as sex symbols, so it redressed the balance a little, she later told me. I never got to see it in person, which is sad. I hope it's touring about and I might get to one of these days. Unfortunately, the statue was coming down on July 26th, and Goldblum was busy recording a jazz album in the United States. Much more on this later, I promise. He didn't have time to saunter on down to the park to look at a gargantuan representation of his younger self, so he didn't get to see it in person. Months later, while promoting said jazz album, Goldblum appeared on The Graham Norton Show alongside Jamie Lee Curtis. "I didn't know it was going up. I found out the day it went up," Goldblum told Norton, still visibly excited by the absurdity, which has been something of his lifeblood over the decades. Norton responded that there was a surprise in store for the actor, and walked across the stage to what appeared to be an end table draped with a dark cloth, which the host quickly whipped off. Goldblum's jaw fell open when he saw what sat beneath. His own noggin, only much, much, much larger, now removed from its body, which had recently sprawled out before London's Tower Bridge. Norton picked up the statue's head, and he began wobbling under its weight like a cartoon character. Goldblum jumped out of his seat and was quickly replaced with the head. "Look at that thing!" he exclaimed. "Look at that thing! Oh my golly!" "You can post it on Facebook," Curtis gleefully interjected. "True or false? A pun is the lowest form of humor," Goldblum ribbed back without taking a pause. The entire time, a papier-mâché head, larger than an average 8-year-old, sat on the couch and stared blankly into the audience. Perhaps the strangest part of the statue episode was that Goldblum wasn't the first actor to be praised in such fashion, but it was the first time that anyone really noticed or cared. In 2013, a 12-foot-tall statue of Colin Firth appeared in the middle of the Serpentine, a lake in Hyde Park, London. It showed Firth as Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice, complete with a soaking wet white shirt clinging to his well-defined arms and chest. Yet it didn't create much buzz. The Hollywood Reporter offered one of the more energetic quotes about the statue. "It makes swimming a bit more interesting, and I think the swans like it." Goldblum, as a subject, though, has the inherent power to make oddities go viral. It seems there's